And that soil is a oof. Avira that soil makim and everything else. Why is it? Brachos Dafei Amud Aleph Rashbi. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai says that Kodesh Baruch Hu gave a gift, a matana toiva, a good gift to Klal Yisrael. Ve'ena niknes ela b'yisuri. Kodesh Baruch Hu gives Eretz Yisrael as a gift, a good gift to Am Yisrael. But guess what? It is acquired with Yisurim. Why does it have to be this way? Your wife has a birthday. Mazel tov. You go to the store, you buy her what she always dreamt of. You wrap it up. It's so nice. Wife, come here. I got you something. And she comes close. And you punch her in the nose. Here, take this is for you. Mazel tov. What's up with that? Your kid has a bar mitzvah. So you slap him 3-4 times and say, here, here's a bar mitzvah gift. You're saying it's a matana toiva, not stam matana. It's not stam a gift, it's a matana toiva. So here, I'll give you some yisurim. Why? So I think once I mentioned here, the Michtav Meliyahu, Chelek Hey, page 349, which I love this Michtav Meliyahu, and I've been saying it, I think, for 20 years. But last week it started bothering me. Let's say the Michtav Meliyahu. Gewaldig. Says the Michtav Meliyahu. Since in Baba Basakov Nun Ches Amud Beis we learn that the air here in Eretz Yisrael makes one wiser. So what happens when a guy comes, makes aliyah, he comes from I don't know where. He never understood the Toises and Yevamos, and now he does. He understands all parts of Torah, and he starts flowing with Chidushei Torah, and he looks back at his Chaverim in Chutz La'aretz, and he says, they don't understand anything. They don't understand anything. He's going to become a Baal Gaiva. To balance things out, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives him some Yisurim. We don't want you to be a Baal Gaiva, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends Yisurim. That's the reason. Gewaldig, no? I also thought so. For 20 years. Last Shabbos I started thinking, wait a second. What does it have to do with women? It works very well for men. Women are not chayiv in Talmud Torah. They're not going to flow with Chidushei Torah. They don't care about their friends who don't have Chidushei Torah. This doesn't work. It doesn't work.
You say their husband is what it is. You see my husband. Now okay. That's a guy.
She doesn't understand the Chidushei Torah enough in order to understand that he is superior to his friends unless he tells her how great he is. But he's not going to because he got Yisurim. I had to come up with something else. Kodesh Baruch Hu gave me an idea. I'll share it with you. Maybe it works. Last pasuk in Tehillim Samech Beis, pasuk Yud Gimel. Lecha Hashem Chesed. Kodesh Baruch Hu, you're so what about Chesed? Ki ata teshalem leish kema'asehu. Because you pay each person according to his deeds. What does that mean? Says the Al Shech HaKodesh right there. Says the Mitzudas right there, and many others. This refers to midah keneged midah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what a chesed you do? You pay people midah keneged midah. What's the chesed in midah keneged midah? If HaKadosh Baruch Hu punishes a person, he did something wrong, he punishes him. And he can't see the correlation between what he did and the punishment, he's not going to become better. He's just going to look at HaKadosh Baruch Hu as a revenging God. That's terrible. But when you see that your leg hurts because you understand, yesterday I wasn't running fast enough to shul. Your hand is hurting because apparently yesterday I remember the ani came and I didn't reach fast enough to my pocket. Oh, I understand, I see. Every action has a heavenly reaction, heavenly echo. And you see the midah keneged midah, you become better. Midah keneged midah comes for tikkun olam, to make this place a better place. In order for us to rectify ourselves, to become great, to polish our midos, to polish our deeds. So therefore it's a tremendous, tremendous chesed. Great. Comes a likutei moharan. Torah Kuf Peizayin, and it writes a remarkable thing. You should know that the main place where HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays midah keneged midah is in Eretz Yisroel and not in Chutz La'aretz. Which means you can live a very comfortable, padded, long life in Chutz La'aretz. Not too much Yisurim. But when you leave, you still have your whole bag of averos because you weren't propelled to action to rectify them because you had no idea what you need to fix. In Eretz Yisrael, one may have some Yisurim, but when he leaves, and it's not about Olam Hazeh, it's about Olam Haba. When he leaves, he's all good to go. He can go directly to a very, very good place, Gan Eden. No need to go into a hot place to fix anything because he fixed it when he was here. The Likutei Moharan looks at a pasuk from last week Pasha. And he says, it's alluded to in the pasuk. The Meraglim come back, and what do they say about Eretz Yisrael? It's a land that eats up its inhabitants. Eretz, ochelet yoshveya. Ochelet is spelled in the pasuk Aleph, Chaf, Lamed, Taf. Rashi Tevos, Ata teshalem leish kemaasehu. You pay according to each one's deeds. Pilei ploim, which means, what's the benefit and what's the tachlis and purpose and goal of having Yisurim? To atone for our sins. To awaken us to do tshuva. The Michtav Meliyahu in Chelek Aleph, page 101 says that by Yisurim, you separate from the nonsense of the world. And the greater the Yisurim are, the greater you are to feel revelation of Shekhinah. And Lemaisa, the tachlis of the Yisurim comes to get us close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to have Kirvas Elokim. It comes out that the biggest chesed in the world is Midah Keneged Midah, is the Yisurim. And therefore Rashbi says HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave a good gift called Eretz Yisroel through another good gift called Yisurim. That's why Eretz Yisroel is acquired through Yisurim, and that works for both men and for women. The only question you should ask, wait a second, really? Midah Keneged Midah also for Goyim? The Meraglim came, the spies came, and they came back and they reported, this is a land that eats up its inhabitants. Ochelet, Aleph, Chaf, Lamed, Taf. They saw Midah Keneged Midah. To Goyim, we thought it's like a bonus to us. I don't think so. Have a raya. Avira Eretz Zol Machkim, the air that makes you wiser. Is that only for Jews or also for non-Jews? It's a bonus for those who fulfill the mitzvah of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, or it's a mitzius. Which means, you go into a tanner where they process hides, you don't have to buy anything, you don't have to touch anything. You're not going to be smelling very pleasant when you leave. You go into a perfume store, don't touch anything. Just spend 5 minutes, you're going to come out, delicious. It's a mitzius. Or, maybe no, it's a sgula for those who make the mitzvah, who are here. Shalchuvas Afarkasta de Anya quotes Achsam Sefer from Chulin Yud Gimel Amud Beis. The Gemara says in Chulin Yud Gimel, Ovdei Avodah Zarah bechutz laaretz. Those who worship Avodah Zarah in chutz laaretz, minhag avoseihen beyadeihen. In other words, they are in autopilot mode. They don't have any idea what they're doing. They have a clue what they're doing. They're just doing it. My father taught me. They don't know what they're doing. But Ovdei Avodah Zarah in Eretz Yisrael, oh, they understand. Why? Avira Eretz Yisrael machkim. The air here makes you wise. It's a mitzius. Now, what are you going to do with that wisdom is up to you. It even works Avodah Zarah if you choose. You're going to be punished for it later. But you can do whatever you want with that wisdom. Choose to do whatever you want. But it's a mitzvah, so anyone benefits from it, even goyim. So, I think, Misvara, we should say, just like the air makes you wiser here, it doesn't make a difference what you do, who you are, so to Lichoira, HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays Midah Keneged Midah, because this is the place where HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes sure that people who walk around his palace should behave appropriately. So he sends them constant signals and alarms. Wake up, change. I want people who represent me accordingly. You're walking next to my palace. So it doesn't make a difference who you are. Now we, Baruch Hashem, have the benefit to understand a little better, on a higher level. But even a guy. And therefore it's not a pele that even back then, the spies come back and they report, yeah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays Midah Keneged Midah in this land. The only question you have to ask me is, but wait a second. When did it start that the air here makes one wiser? The Tzofnas Pa'aneach brings in Maseches Trumos that HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe, listen, you're not going into the land, but if you want, you can look at it. And Moshe did. And when Moshe gazed with his pure eyes at this land, he infused it with Kedusha, with Tahara, with purity and sanctity, and with this air of wisdom that one can gain from. Wait a second, according to that doesn't work. Because the Meraglim came back before Moshe looked at the land. So this whole building collapses. It does if we go with the Tzofnas Pa'aneach. But I have a Sforno. The Sforno comes before the Tzofnas Pa'aneach, and the Sforno says the reason why this land has this air that makes you wiser, because in Zvachim Kuf Yud Gimel we learn there's an opinion that HaKadosh Baruch Hu at the time of the flood did not rain anything here. The flood was all over the world, not in Eretz Yisrael. So the whole air all over the world was contaminated because of the waters of the flood. It didn't touch Eretz Yisrael. And therefore Eretz Yisrael always had this wisdom. So it's not a pele that the Meraglim came and they saw, well, Kodesh Baruch Hu pays Midah Keneged Midah, because just like the air makes one wiser even to going, Midah Keneged Midah is also paid for Goyim. I think based on all this, it could be that's the reason HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives eretz to Klal Yisrael through Yisurim. But we shouldn't be afraid from the word Yisurim, afflictions. It sounds bad. Because there's another Gemara, Erchin Daf Tet Zayin. And the Gemara says, Ad Heichan Tachlis Yisurim. How exact is the punishment? And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, don't be surprised that I say HaKadosh Baruch Hu says. Rabbi Yisroel Salanter. You know, Bava Metzia, how does it start? How does Bava Metzia start? The first two words in Bava Metzia. Shnayim Ochazin? No. Rabbi Yisroel Salanter opened up Bava Metzia and he started learning. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shnayim Ochazin. So when you hear Chazal speak in the Gemara, it's the words of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Chazal say, what is the tachlis of Yisurim? How exact is the punishment? You want to reach to your pocket and get 3 coins out. Oy! Only 2 coins came out and you have to reach again into your pocket and get another coin. That's also called Yisurim. You put your sweater on. Oy! I put it inside out. I got to take it off and put it back on again. It's also called Yisurim. There's more examples there. So when it says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm giving you eretz Yisrael, but through Yisurim, it doesn't have to be a harsh thing. It can be less. And it can also be only once and you already paid your dues and your yotzeh. Especially after what we went through this last 2 weeks and this year and a half, I think, well, yotzeh choivas Yisurim, and Emetz Hashem, we don't have to. We filled up the quota. We don't need more Yisurim. But it could be the whole reason of Yisurim. Maybe that's where it is.